Hey guys, Aramis555 here. Coming to you today with a deck profile of the deck I'll be playing next format. As you know, I'm a big plant player, but plants did get hit quite hard by the list. They're still good, it's just with Avarice to 1, the deck's a lot more sketchy and you really can't rely on your mills anymore. And 1 Lone Fire now is quite inconsistent to the point where you're probably not going to open up with it as much as you'd like, and you're going to find you open up with your other cards, such as Lone Fire, such as Dandelion, Glow Bulb, and Spore, which aren't bad to have in your hand, but I'd rather have them in the deck or in the graveyard. So I'm going to be leaving plants behind. I may be trying out zombie plants here or there, just for fun, because I do still like the plant engine, and I think zombies are still very good. But otherwise, I'll get right onto the deck. The deck I'll be playing, I have everything for the deck so far. I'm just missing 2 cards, but they are coming in the mail. But the deck I am going to be playing for this next format is actually going to be none other than, if you watched my last video, you'll know, Scraps. Now, Scraps I think are going to be really good, just for the pure fact that they have a lot of chainable spells and traps, and they're a very spell-heavy deck. And now that Summoner Monk is at 2, I think the deck is also going to have a lot of really cool, viable options. It's going to be able to make level 4 exceeds very easily as well, which is also good. And Scrap Dragon is always a great plus, and 2800 is pretty huge, and the fact that he recycles the scrap back is very crucial. Also, I think the deck consistently, like I said, runs lots of spells, chainable spells. Scrapstorm is a very excellent card just for the fact that if they MST, you can always change it to your face-up monster, your face-up scrap monster, and it'll get you a plus that way. And it also can run 3 MST with no problem, because even if your opponent has no back row, you can always just set that dead MST and pop it with the Scrap Dragon. So I think that's going to be very good. I will be doing lots of testing to see what's better. I was actually thinking, since the format is going to be a lot more monster heavy, that even maybe 1 Scrap Searcher would be kind of a cool tech, just to see how that tests out. Otherwise, right now, I have been testing this a little bit on Dueling Network, and I think it is very good. It's testing well. There is 1 card difference in my deck right now compared to what I've been testing, which I'll get to, but otherwise, I'll get right down to the deck, guys. So starting off, we've got 3 Scrap Chimera. You got to run this guy. I think Valor is going to gain a lot of popularity, so this might be a little scary, but even then, he's still 1700 beater, and it's not bad having him in the graveyard, because you can use the Scrapstorm effect to add him back. So he's really good, and he's an instant Scrap Dragon or Scrap Archfiend. So yeah, I do really like 3 Scrap Chimera. Next is 3 Scrap Beast. I was considering only running 2, but I think you got to run 3. Especially once the priority thing changes, if Bottomless does come back into popularity, I'll need to run 3 just to be safe. But then again, you can always just change Scrapstorm to the Bottomless, so this card is still very good. Next is 1 Scrap Orthros. I know some people would say don't run this, it's not that great, but I actually still really like Orthros, and he is really nice late game for getting that Chimera back in your hand, and he is a tuner as well, so you can always synchro with him. Other than that, 1700 attack, which isn't bad either. He is level 4, so he lets me go into Exceeds as well. But yeah, otherwise, I still think 1 Orthros is good. Next is 2 Scrap Goblin. I still really like Goblin. It's not going to be the slow format was last format, where it's set Goblin, set a bunch of back rows. But this is still good for protection, and he is a possible tribute. If you have a dead Golem in your hand, you can special him back and then make a level 8. So I still really like Scrap Goblin at 2. I think it's still a great first turn set, and it's a good late turn set as well if you need some protection. Keeps you alive for a turn. Next is 1 Scrap Golem. This guy's still really good. He does require a tribute, but you can always special summon him back off of a dragon or twin dragon dying, so he's really good. And then you can bring back. Sorry guys, I just woke up, I'm kind of tired. You can bring back a Scrap Beast or Scrap Goblin and make 8s or 9s, so that's really good as well. The only thing I'm really going to miss not playing plants, by the way, guys, is making Trishula. I love Trishula. This deck can make it, but not as consistently as plants or some other decks could. Next is Reborn Tengu. I'm proxying 2 Boras right now as the other Tengus. Like I said, I am getting 2 of them in the mail. Thanks again to a Pojo Trader, which I'm a big fan of. He's a really nice guy. His name is Alexander Garn01, I think. And yeah, he's really nice. He sold me 2 for 28 bucks, so I was like, it was pretty good because technically I pulled this one. So basically, it's like I paid 28 bucks for a set of super rare Tengu, so I thought that's pretty good. But yeah, Tengu's excellent in this deck. And, you know, I can grab him with Summoner Monk, and I could make an Exceed, or I could just summon one in the field, you know, let it sit there for a turn, and then summon Scrap Beast next turn and make a Scrap Dragon, and get a Tengu back, and get the pluses going. Next is 2 Summoner Monk. You gotta run this in this deck. Even 1 Summoner Monk before was good, and I saw some people not running it, but with 2 Summoner Monk, it's pretty insane. You can do crazy Exceed stuff, and you can also easily make Arcanite with this guy and Goblin, and then he obviously makes Scrap Dragon very easily as well, or even any other level 8 Synchro for that matter, so that's really, really good. Next is 2 Valor. I may, depending on how the format goes, I may actually bump this up to 3. I'll have to get another ulti, unfortunately, but yeah, I may bump this up to 3 and take out a Scrap Beast. I just guess we'll see how monster heavy the format goes. And Gorz, just for protection. Gorz is going to be very good this format just for the fact that there's not a lot of back row, so he's going to be really good. And as I was saying before, Scrapstorm is really good at 3 because you can chain it, gets you pluses, gets your Chimera in the Graveyard, Golem, whatever. 2 Scrapyard. I'll be taking out one of these probably for a Duality or 2. I may not run any Scrapyards, but then again, I'll probably just end up running 1 and main 1 Duality. Unfear Spell and Trap Destruction. We got 3 MST Heavy Storm. Now, as I said, some people said they might be only maining 2 MSTs and siding the 3rd MST, but I think that maining 3 and 1 Heavy Storm is still too good. I am looking for another gold rare MST, but basically, if I do dead draw them, I could always just set 1 and pop it, you know, so I think stuff in this deck's rarely dead. Mind Control, so good with Exceed Summoning. And I'm running a lot of tuners in this deck, so I think this is too good not to run in this case. Scapegoat, it's there so I can make the Natria monsters, which I'll be running all 3 of them in my extra deck. Natria Barkion will not be as good as it was last format. This format, but Natria Beast will be gaining a lot of popularity, and it will be a very good card. So I think Scapegoat's too good not to run. This is something I usually don't run. I'm going to be testing it, but my friend said it's too good not to run, just because you could first turn dump that beast if you got Chimera and make a first turn Scrap Dragon. There's other stuff you could dump too. I could dump Golem if I don't want to draw it, etc., etc. Otherwise, I may, if I don't like this, end up taking it out for another Duality, but we'll see how it tests out. And then we got the 3 staples book, Reborn, Dark Hole. I'm surprised Reborn's still around, but, you know, whatever. Crazy Konami shenanigans. Next is the 3 Solemns, 2 Warnings, 1 Judgment. I may end up taking out the Judgment because I really don't think it's going to do a whole lot this format. I'll be taking it out for maybe a 3rd Mind Crush, but we'll see. Next is 2 Call the Haunted. This will be way too good in Scraps not to run. Lots of pluses, and you know, it gets back your Scrap Dragons, and you can bring back anything really and just pop the call. And yeah, it's really good. And then 1 Mind Crush Dustshoot. I think Dustshoot's going to be, again, too good not to run this format because people are going to be conserving their hands, and Mind Crush Dustshoot's kind of broken. The only thing that Mind Crush is going to start to get kind of bad against is Dark Worlds, but you can always slide those out. And like I said, you can always pop them with the Scrap Dragons if you don't want to use it. And it is chainable. Both of them are chainable, so that's very good. And yeah, the whole Dustshoot Mind Crush thing is just basically you're gonna win if you get that off, so very good. And like I said, I may be taking out Solemn Judgment for a 2nd Mind Crush. We'll see how testing does. So anyways, guys, that's the deck. It's 42 cards. It's testing well on Dueling Network for the next format, and if this doesn't work out, I'll be running Herald Agents, which the deck is just about done, so expect a deck profile up about that within the next week or so. Otherwise, guys, Dermos555 signing out. I'm not going to say anything about the extra deck because it's pretty standard. You just run like 3 Scrap Dragon, 2 Scrap Twins, and then the Natria crap, and then you can just run whatever else you want. 1 Scrap Archfiend as well. Anyways, guys, Dermos555 signing out. Make sure to check out my other videos. Make sure to subscribe if you're not. And yeah, make sure to also check out my other awesome YouTuber section on my channel because there's some really good YouTubers there that I'm friends with, and they have really good content. So this is Dermos555 signing out. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.